Hey guys, and welcome back. This is part 2 of my Regulation H tournament run. If you want to see the first part, it's right here on the channel, and you can click the button that appears in the top right corner of this video to jump back into that video. Now, without further ado, let's jump straight into the battles. This video is all about my run in a Regulation H tournament, the rerun of a previous format that we'll be living in for the next couple of months. Just like with all of my tournament videos, the goal here is improvement. You'll see the good plays, the bad plays, and the what was I thinking moments as I adapt to the meta. The Pokepaste and rental is in the description below if you want to try the team yourself, and timestamps are there so you can skip straight to the battles. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more VGC battles and breakdowns. Starting with Flamigo. They might look unassuming, but in this meta, it's a complete sniper. With Scrappy, close combat smashes through ghost types, making it an immediate threat to both Ursaluna forms, Gholdengo, and Incineroar. Focus Sash ensures that it survives long enough to do its job, while Tailwind lets it swing speed control in my favor. Tera Ghost keeps it safe from fake out and fighting moves, letting it stick around to apply pressure. King Gambit is a monster into Trick Room teams, but it also shuts down one of Regulation H nastiest archetypes, expanding force cores with Atorini, Armarouge, and Indeedee. Thanks to its dark typing, it's completely immune to psychic moves, making it a rock-solid switch-in. Defiant punishes Intimidate cycling, and, like classes, boosts its already absurd damage. Terra Flying adds even more staying power against fighting type threats. Among Us is my go-to for stalling out Trick Room with Spore, Rage Powder, and Pollen Puff support, but the real spice is its Terra Dark deck. This makes it immune to Expanding Force, completely flipping the matchup against Atorini, Indeedee, and Armarouge teams, just like King Gambit. It forces those comps to respect Among Us instead of freely clicking their biggest win condition, the Psychic Terrain boosted Expanding Force. As for Tauros, most people expect only an Intimidate support from him, but mine's carrying a Mirror Herb to steal boosts, whether it's a Defiant Trigger from King Gambit or Annihilate, or from a Skill Shot speed boost from Dragonite. Flame Charge is the clutch speed tech, letting Tauros outspeed key threats at the perfect time. With Close Combat, Raging Bull, and Terra Grass for water and ground coverage, it's a constant threat that's hard to play around. This Dragonite exists for only one reason: to counter Sneasler. Covert Cloak protects it from its Dire Claw status shenanigans, while Stomping Tantrum and Extreme Speed can KO it before it snowballs. Haze keeps Dondozo from running away with games, and Terra Steel turns bad fairy matchups into favorable ones. It's the ultimate anti-cheese slot, and it does its job very well. As for Primarina, it brings constant spread pressure. Throat Spray turns Hyper Voice into a nuclear option after just one boost, and Terra Poison gives it a great defensive utility against grass and poison types. The bulk investment means it can survive opening its exchanges and force opponents to respect it for the rest of the match. So, if you want to play this team, utilize Among Us and King Gambit against most, if not all, Trick Room teams. Flamigo is an amazing Pokémon, being able to put a lot of pressure in almost any scenario. Don't be afraid of doing risky plays with him, as Focus Sash is a safety net. Primarina's spread moves are amazing. If you have the chance to support her with moves such as Tailwind or Rage Powder, you can watch your opponent's team melt away. This Dragonite is extremely niche, but don't be like myself and bring him against Sneasler matchups, as you are a natural counter to that Pokémon with this specific set. The core idea of this team is flexibility against Reg H's biggest strategies. Kingambit and Among Us shut down Trick Room and expanding force teams, Flamigo breaks bulky walls, and Tauros punishes stat boosts and flips speed control. Dragonite handles Sneasler and Dondozo, and Primarina applies constant damage pressure. Going into the tournament, I wanted a team that could adapt mid-set, and while mistakes happened, it proved it could hold its own against a wide range of meta threats. With the team explained, let's get into the battles and see how this anti-meta squad performs against the best Regulation H has to offer. And so we are right now at the win it in, meaning that if we win this matchup, this round, we get access to Top Cut. So let's try to do our best to achieve that. So what can we see from this? So my opponent has an expanding force core, but also a Trick Room core. So I think Among Us is viable here, but I think I'm just going to bring him in the last slot, just to guarantee some switch-ins. I think that the Kingambit is pretty good in this situation. It's just not good against the Armor Rouge, but I think we can, turn that around. I don't dislike the Among Us, like I said. Yeah, I think we can bring the Tauros. We don't have much answers to Trick Room, do we? Let's see. Ursaluna is really threatening. With the Life Orb, Sneasler is also really threatening, as well as Dragapult. So we need to be really careful when making our plays. Let's see, Ursaluna in DD. Okay. And we go with a Primarina in Gambit. So what was the goal with this lead? I mean, it was quite simple. This lead basically enables us to just get a free boost, pressure the Ursaluna as well, but to also do a lot of damage to the Indeedee, right? In this scenario, I do not dislike just going into the Tera Flying. I think Tera Flying is pretty good, and I don't think I will need my Tera against anyone else, and preserving my Kingambit is quite useful. So they are going to Tera normal, their Ursaluna, and I think that that's the correct play. Now, will they follow me? If they do, I think the Indeedee faints, so that's pretty massive. And I also think that they went for the Earth Power onto the Kingambit. They could have gone for the Blood Moon onto the Primarina, but we are faster than them. Helping Hand, okay. Helping Hand Hypervoice, yeah, can you KO us? No, you cannot. Can I KO you back? That's the question. I do not think I can. Okay, so it's going to faint to the next hit, to the next life orb chip. So here I have to protect one of my Pokemon, and I have to check his team to see which one of my Pokemon could be more important. To be honest, Psychic Terrain is up. I think that the Primarina is the best option. So I'm just going to attack. He withdrew the Indeedee. Okay. Did we protect the Bloodmoon? No. Okay. So you did attack at the end, you did sacrifice your own Pokemon. Okay. So we know our opponent isn't afraid to just spam their Hyper Voice move. That's really important for next game, because if we didn't Terra, our King Gambit would have handled this way better. Now we are in a tricky situation. Because Armarouge is always faster than us, can always Expanding Force and KO us. I think this one is a wrap. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We can stall the Psychic Terrain, obviously, but not for that long, I think. I protect, then... Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I'm just going to try to put Armarouge to sleep. Do we survive this? With the Among Us, we survive on 1. That's impressive. We have our Super Spell. The Indeedee... Okay, the Indeedee has Dazzling Wing. Does not have Psychic, so we survive this, which is massive. And we put the Armarouge to sleep. Really important. Okay, and now we bring our Tauros. The problem here is I do not think that the Tauros can KO the Indeedee. I really don't. Yeah, not even close. Okay. Doesn't him again from the Indeedee. Doesn't do much. One puff. It does KO. But this isn't necessarily a good thing. Because he can bring his next Pokemon, which is Sneasler. Okay. Okay. So... I want to Regime Ball the Sneasler. The Armarouge has been asleep for... doesn't tell, but it was its second turn. I have to try to one-shot the Sneasler in here, which is not going to be possible. But, you know, we try. We have to try. Fire Claw onto the Among Us, gets the KO, and that's going to be game. Taurus doesn't have anything to... yeah, Taurus just doesn't have anything for both of these Pokemon. So yeah, I'm just going to Flame Charge, but it's irrelevant. We do survive, but yeah, we get the speed boost, which is cool, but they have Flash Fire. They will woke up, expanding force, KO. Yeah. Okay, this first one was a loss from us. So they led with Indeedee and the Blood Moon Ursaluna. So this makes me think that I can actually just bring my Flamigo, for example. Let's see, can Flamigo KO? No, it cannot. Flamigo just doesn't KO anything. That's sad. But yeah, let's go for another run. This winning in is being a little bit too fast for me. But yeah, so he led the Indeedee Ursaluna. I don't think that he has to necessarily change that, right? Going for the same lead could be interesting, but I think that the Flamigo with the King Gambit forces our opponent to play a little bit differently. The thing is, if we have Among Us, why don't we just bring Among Us in the first turn? Like, what can they do against Among Us? Among Us Primarina, it's not bad. King Gambit in the back. Do we even bring Dragonite? Extreme Speed, Stomping Tantrum. Stomping Tantrum could be good. Or the Armarouge. But the focus session on the Flamigo is just more important, I think. Let's see. Let's see. So, Ursaluna Indeedee again. Okay. But now I'm forcing my opponent to make a choice. Okay? So, he knows that he can't KO the Primarina. Can we survive? Can the Among Us survive a Blood Moon? With a helping hand, it does not. But I do think we have to give it a try. I think we just have to pressure. I think we just have to pressure them, right? Yeah, let's see. I could have protected the Among Us, but I think that just forces us to give up just so much pressure, you know? They could just Terra normal Blood Moon as well, and that would also KO the Among Us. Hyper Voice won't, so let's see. It went for the Blood Moon onto the Among Us. Yeah, I should have protected the Among Us. We talked about it. That's a little bit annoying, but it's fine. Otherwise, we got a lot of damage. This is pretty good. And the cool thing is that we can actually just KO a Pokémon. The +1 Primarina. Can the +1 Primarina KO actually? So we know that we are slower than the Ursaluna. We can KO. What I think I'm going to do is just they cannot. Yeah, they don't have the Blood Moon available. They only have the Hyper Voice, and Hyper Voice does not KO my Pokemon. So I'm just going to go for this. Ursaluna also protected. Okay. If they go for a Trick Room, that's not the best shot. Why? Why did he do that? That was really risky for no reason. Because I can just... My Primarine is slower. Murkrow, okay. With Hyper Voice, yeah. And I'm just going to take another KO here. That Trick Room was not... they were counting on us Tailwinding, right? But I could never Tailwind in this position because they have Trick Room. They have Trick Room always available. So yeah, I just can't do that. Okay, Indeedee and Rouge, I presume. Yep. Okay. I'm just going to Brave Bird. Just let me check one thing. They have Heat Wave, Meteor Beam, Expanding Force, so I'm not going to Tera. I am going to Brave Bird the Rouge though. And Hyper Voice again. They do not have Tera, I am not +1. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Primarine is just putting in the work. This is really cool. Okay. Primarine just stole the game. Really, really good. We are going to point this one as a win. Okay. So they always lead the Ursaluna, right? I think this time I'm going to do the same thing that I did in this game, where I'm going to lead Among Us Primarina again. Should I do that though? Let's think. They always go on the offense. So they always go on the offense. Like, this is just to tempt him, because we won the last game with this combo, right? They have to realize that the Among Us is actually a threat. But Primarine is also a big threat for them. I think if we still bring the Among Us, still bring the Primarine, they are forced to make a choice, right? Do they let their Ursaluna go to sleep, or do they take an Hyper Voice? I think I've never done this the first turn, but they, like I said, they are extremely willing to just press Blood Moon and Hyper Voice and just go hyper offensive. I've always let them do that, and that led them to gain an advantage over me. In this turn, I want to scout, okay? I want to scout to see if they go for the Blood Moon, because Ursaluna Sneasler. Okay. I could just go for the Tera Poison, but I'm always getting clipped by the Dire Claw. Right. Could also just go for the King Gambit and Terra Flying next turn, which I am inclined to do. Let's see. I'm expecting a Fake Out or a Dire Claw onto the King Gambit slot and a Blood Moon onto the Among Us slot. Okay. We get their Hyper Offense as a response. Okay. We protect. What do they do? Throat Chop to stop the Hyper Voice. Okay. And Blood Moon onto the Among Us slot. This is amazing. This is really good for us. Now, I can just Spore the Sneasler and Flying Terra. And Kowtow Cleave the Ursaluna. We survive an Hyper Voice from the Ursaluna, which is also important to note. Let's see if we can do something with this. Dire Claw on the Among Us, please don't sleep. Okay. Do we survive this? Among Us, do we survive this? You do survive this. Great, that's amazing. We eat our Citrus Berry. Very good. Now we cut out the Ursaluna for a big chunk of damage. And Spore the Sneasler. Okay. So far, not the worst. I'm going to bring the Primarina onto the Among Us slot. Just because I want him to get the regeneration boost. And I do think that Ursaluna is going to be really aggressive and try to attack. But I also think that they might actually might actually be pretty offensive and go into the Indeedee. The thing is, I cannot. Yeah, he's going to bring the Indeedee right now, right? Yeah. Okay. We were like thinking about this, and we were about to protect the King Gambit, but let's see if this bites us. Sucker Punch does not work, of course. Hyper Voice. This is not the worst. This is not the worst. And why would I say this? Because the Among Us cannot do anything. the Indeedee can redirect the Flamigo. I think that this might be over. The thing is, but the Flamigo is going to get... Let's see. We can just double protect and try to wait our opponent like we did in the previous game. Just protect and protect. Do they go for the trick room? Yeah, at the end of the day, this is all mind games, right? Let's see. Ursaluna protected, okay. Are you going for the trick room? Yep. Like I said, this game is all about conditioning our opponent. And we did it. We did it. You can just hyper voice here and close combat. So Armor Rouge is going to... Oh, it's the Sneasler that is going to ring. Okay. We should survive anything that Indeedee wants to do. Hyper voice. Okay. Close combat onto the Indeedee slot. He's going to reverse the trick room now. Yeah. The thing is that Indeedee, not Indeedee, the Sneasler didn't actually get a turn of sleep. So that's important. Let's try to KO the Sneasler. Yeah. Because the Sneasler didn't get a turn of sleep. Brave Bird. Sneasler is out. Out for the count. The Indeedee cannot KO any of us. Yep. We survive. And the Hyper Voice gets the KO onto the Indeedee. Good, 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 good. Now they have the Ursaluna and Armor Rouge, I presume. Ursaluna. Okay. And Armor Rouge. Now, who do we have in the back? The Among Us. Okay. So, I'm just going to Hyper Voice. They did already Tera. Hyper Voice is our strongest move. So, I will go for it. And I am going to Tailwind. Okay. Now, is our Primarina strong enough to KO the Armor Rouge? It is. Okay. I was kinda nervous, not gonna lie. But Armor Rouge is a bit frail, so... Okay. And guys, we actually did it. We qualified for our top cut. Okay, and we got this. Okay guys, and I'm sorry for all the silence. I was talking with our opponent because our opponent was just checking damage rolls and whatever with me, but I'm not even going to cut this because we are already against our next opponent, and our next opponent is the best player in this tournament, playing a hard Trick Room team with Vikavolt, like you never see Vikavolt. The cool thing here is that our Primarina is actually really slow, so maybe we can take advantage of that. But his team is really threatening, like actually really threatening. It has Gallade, Ursaluna, Torqual, Indeedee, Hatterene, and the Vikavolt. And so yeah, this is pure Trick Room. I have to bring the Primarina, I have to bring King Gambit and Among Us. Just gonna say good luck, have fun to our opponent. And yeah, I have to bring those three to every single game. And the last one I have to decide, I have to see. Let's see. I'm thinking that no, Dragonite is not good. I don't think he's good in this position. Because of Indeedee. Indeedee blocks most of what I want to do with Dragonite, so that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah. So, like I said, our opponent is the number one in the tournament right now, playing a hard Trick Room team. Playing against a hard Trick Room team can be quite difficult, but I think we have the correct tools to deal with this. So let's see. For example, I think that leading Primarina is always good. Primarina King Gambit seems a strong lead, and I do like the Among Us. The thing is that we don't have any protection against Expanding Force, which is not the best. Now, as our last Pokemon, I actually don't know who to bring. The Flamigo is always interesting, and I do think I'm going to bring him. He's interesting because he has Tailwind, he has the Scrappy ability that can hit the Ursaluna. I mean, in that sense, like, he always seems to be good, I would say. Our opponent leads with Hatterene, Indeedee. Okay. So, this is actually not that bad for us, because I can Hyper Voice and Kowtow Cleave the Hatterene. Hatterene is a very psychic type. Iron Head is super effective, but I want the neutral damage. Why did I press Iron Head? I literally said that I wanted the neutral damage to KO. That's fine. That's fine. You're not going to KO the individual now, because I didn't press the right button, but it is what it is. Maybe, yeah, it is what it is. Trick Room gets set up. Okay. And now I am once again going to press Hyper Voice, but now I'm just going to protect. And why do I want to protect? Because I think that the Hatterini is actually going to Terra Fire. But why would it Terra Fire? Terra Fire, Terra Blast onto the King Gambit slot. I'm going to protect the King Gambit. I'm quite afraid of it. Helping Hand. Are you just going to Expanding Force? No way. You did just Expanding Force. You were sacking your Hatterini this easily? Oh, that's insane. That to me is insane. I'm going to Terra Dark and just Pollen Puff. Like, I can't believe you actually did that. It was smart, of course, because he read my inputs, basically. And now he knows that I want to attack, he's going to Terra Fire now. He didn't. Okay. But what are you going to do now? You can't freely press Expanding Force. Hoping an Expanding Force again? No, doesn't really. Oh my god, man. That's insane damage. That is actually insane damage. Into Pollen Puff, Hatterini, and Cut Our Cleave. Jesus Christ. Hatterini completely demolished us. Torkoal is a lot slower than us, so that's not good. They have two turns of Trick Room, 2 turns of Psychic Terrain. And to be honest, I don't think we are going to survive this. Yeah. I do not think we survive. Yeah, we are not. Definitely not. I basically have to double protect 2 turns in a row. So it's going to bring the Ursaluna now. Yeah. Literally impossible for me to win right now. Okay. Okay. So indeed the Hatterini was pretty difficult. I just have to protect again. Mungus got the protect, okay. Oh, the King Gambit didn't, okay. Eruption is going to KO our King Gambit. And what can we do next turn? We can close combat the Ursaluna, right? Does it achieve anything? I don't think it does. But let's see. Because what I can do right now is pretty simple, right? So Among Us is still alive, we still have a Flamigo with a Focus Sash, with Scrappy as well. We can simply Spore the Torkoal, right? And close combat with Ursaluna. So we are not always going to get the Spore. But we could get in a good position though, still. Tera Ghost was the best option, yeah. Close combat. Do you go for the Among Us? If you do, you win the game. And I think you are. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was the correct play. For sure, that was the correct play. Okay. And the eruption is going to come through. Okay. We do survive, but... Let's take our time to think of it. Hatterini with Indeedee was really tough. So I think that probably Among Us King Gambit could do a little bit better. Right? Let's take our time here to okay. I think we are just going to give up. So Among Us is cool. Among Us is cool, but they can just Tera Fire. Could just Tera Fire. If I go King Gambit with the Primarina again, I can still have a chance. It's going to be tough. It is going to be tough because the King Gambit Primarina, I think, pins the Hatterini quite well. Right, especially if they want to go for the Trick Room. I think I just have to do this again. I don't see any other option. Does the Dragonite do anything? Extreme Speed gets blocked, Haze doesn't matter, and Topping Tantrum is only good against Torkoal, but it gets bodied by everyone else. So I think that the Flamigo is the better option. Let's see. Tera Fire. I don't have Gallade Indeedee. Damn, that's tough. No, it's not that tough. It's not that bad. The Indeedee is just going to Trick Room. I don't want... Oh, any of them can Trick Room. Do you have Trick Room on your Gallade? You do have. So any of you can just Trick Room. I don't mind just going for the Gallade. Let's see. I need to protect my King Gambit from the Gallade Sacred Sword. So... And you are going to go for the Sacred Sword. Or the Cycle... You are going to go for the Cycle Cut. I knew it. I knew that you were going for that. I should have just... No problem. We get the KO, which is the most important thing. Okay. Wow. Like, I knew that that could happen, but now I'm so weak right now to expanding for shenanigans. Oh, yo. I think that the Gallade has to go for the Trick Room, right? Him leaving on 1 was devastating. Hatterini can just KO both of us right now. Not both of us, but you get it. I'm just going to try to flinch it. And I'm just going to close combat the Gallade. If we flinch the Hatterini, we might have a chance. Yeah, Terra Fire now. Onto the Hatterini. Yeah, makes sense. Now that the Primarina is done for the count, you are just free to do whatever you want. So, yeah, makes complete sense to me. We get a KO onto the Gallade. And we are going to try to flinch the Hatterini. Do we flinch? Yes. Okay. Okay, we had to do this. We had to do this. Okay. We are not completely out for the count, okay? But you have to be smart about what we are going to do next. So, Hatterini is a massive issue. But on the other hand, Torkoal... not one of them has Protect. I think I'm just going to... No, I cannot give her Trick Room. I cannot give her Trick Room. Oh my god, again, that could have went into the Torkoal. Damn it. That's not good at all. That Kowtow Cliff could have went into the Torkoal. Now we didn't lose anyone. Okay. We're going to Kowtow Cliff and close combat. How much damage does this do? Okay, a little less than 50%. We go for the Kowtow Cliff. It doesn't KO. Heat Wave goes. We do get double KO'd, but the cool thing is that we still have Among Us, and Among Us is definitely faster than the Torkoal, so they have choice specs. I'm just going to spar. I want to guarantee that I can win, so fast asleep. The thing is, if he wakes up, like right now, that's going to be terrible.
So I have to Pollen Puff and protect next turn. Okay, we just KO. Okay. If we didn't KO, I would have to protect next turn. So, okay, we did it. We won one game. I think this is... No, I lost this one and you won this one. I think we are going to game 3 now. Okay. Let's think. He has led Tatooine every time, but they indeed every time. I still think I'm not going to change the lead though. Or am I? No, I'm not. To do this, I'm still going to bring the Flamigo. Let's see. Let's see. A calc to do is that the Primarina calc against the Gallade. Psycho Cut. Oh, Psycho Cut has a chance to KO Primarina even without Helping Hand. It has only a 6% chance. The thing is, we could have also killed the Gallade that turn. We also have, and we had a bigger chance, but he had Helping Hand, so. Okay, so this is our final game. Let's see how we do. Gallade indeed. Against King Gambit, Primarina. So, in the previous one, he went for... I still have to do this. This is always the correct option. But now, I'm going to protect the Primarina. Because we know that Psycho Cut one-shots the Primarina. I have to always Flying Terror, but I'm going to protect the Primarina, predicting the same play. Now, does Psycho Cut KO? No, Psycho Cut also doesn't KO us. So let's see. Follow me? Yeah, okay. So he's going to follow me Trick Room. That is not necessarily good for us, but at least we got rid of the DB. Trick Room, yeah. Now he can just freely Expanding Force. Without Rini. Yeah, Atarini. Let's see, does the Atarini fire Trick Room, Expanding Force? It does not KO. Okay, so we might have a chance, because it doesn't KO, actually. Iron is a good option, because we are negating his Star of Fire if we go for Hyper Voice, but they have to account for that, which I don't know if they do. But I'm going to Moonblast the Gallade and Iron. Let's see if this pays off. Let's see. Because he has to wildcard. You didn't wildcard. Are you serious? That's insane. You didn't wildcard. I could have gotten rid of your... Wait, your Gallade is even slower than my Primarina. Oh, that's tough. That is really tough. Ay, that's really tough. I didn't think that the Gallade would be slower than the... Yeah, not by much though. Not by much, but he is slower. I should have checked. How many turns of Trick Room do I... They have 3 turns. Oh, this is impossible. I'm just going to spar. And close combat at Arena. I think this is over. Expanding Force, yeah. Like, yeah. We got the top cut, but we didn't make it. I mean, it was a fun run, to be honest, but yeah. I think that we only won, yeah. Yeah, we only won the previous game because we flinched at Torini. That was our only win condition. It's always hard to counter Trick Room when they have a lot of Trick Room setters, right? You cannot taunt them all, and indeed is a phenomenal Pokemon for Trick Room because it always enables you to get Trick Room up. It always enables you. That's 100%, like with 100% certainty, you can always get Trick Room. And well, I mean, it was kind of unfortunate, but it was a fun run. What could I have done to beat this team? Well, I always felt pressured to just Tera to protect our King Gambit from the Gallade, due to the fact that our King Gambit is fundamental to win the matchup, right? But our opponent knew that, so I should have, like in the previous game, I used Tera Flying, so in this one I should have just stayed a Dark type. And I think that by not staying at the pure Steel and Dark type and utilizing Tera so soon was the downfall. To be honest, I think I just pressed the Tera button too fast, which is, you know, unfortunate. But this team, yeah, it's a really cool team by our opponent, and yeah, we are at the end of our tournament run, literally the end. And I just wanted to thank everyone for watching the video so far. I also want to thank every single one of my opponents for the games. They were really fun games. There's not much more that I can say. They were just really fun. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I did, and I'll be seeing you guys around. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. See ya.
And that's the end of my Regulation H tournament run. This event gave me a clear look at the new meta space, its threats and win conditions, and where my plays and teams can improve moving forward. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe so you don't miss the next tournament run. drop a comment with a Pokemon you think I should build around next. Maybe it will be a centerpiece of my next anti-meta team. See ya!